Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the most mysterious and fascinating stories from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon, because you won't want to miss our upcoming episodes on the world's greatest mysteries. Today's story is about one of the most famous disappearances connected to the Bermuda Triangle. On December 5, 1945, 5 powerful U.S. Navy bombers known as took off for what was supposed to be a routine training mission. The day began like any other at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The mission was called Navigation Problem Number 1. It was a simple 3-hour flight exercise designed for training new pilots. 5 Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, carrying a total of 14 men, were scheduled to fly east, practice bombing runs over a small island, and then the squadron was led by Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, a decorated flight instructor who had seen action in World War II. He was considered skilled and experienced, though some reports suggest he had a reputation for getting nervous when lost. For the U.S. Navy, it was just another ordinary drill. No one could have imagined what was about to unfold. Fly east, they would practice bombing runs, then return. Simple navigation, practiced many times before, but that routine would not go as planned. Navigation instruments were central to safe return, especially over open water. Radio communication would soon become the only lifeline between the pilots and the shore. At first, everything seemed normal, but as the afternoon moved toward evening, strange messages began to come in.
Both my compasses are out. I'm trying to find Fort Lauderdale, but we seem to be lost.
The other pilots believed they were over the Florida Keys, when in fact they had drifted much farther northeast, out over the Atlantic Ocean. As the hours passed, the pilots' voices grew increasingly worried. The sun began to set, and with faulty compasses, they had no way of knowing their exact location.
We can't tell where we are. Everything looks strange, even the ocean.
Finally, Taylor gave the grim order.
All planes close up tight. We'll have to ditch together if the first plane goes down.
Moments later, radio contact was lost forever. When communication went silent, the Navy immediately launched a rescue mission. At 7:30 p.m., a Martin Mariner seaplane with 13 crew members took off to search for Flight 9, but within 20 minutes, it too disappeared. Witnesses on the coast reported seeing a giant fireball in the sky. The Navy later concluded that the Mariner likely exploded in mid-air due to a fuel leak, but once again, no wreckage or bodies were ever recovered. Now, instead of saving 14 men, the Navy had lost 27 men in a single night. What followed was one of the largest air and sea searches in U.S. history. More than 250,000 square miles of ocean were scanned by ships and planes. Yet, not a single piece of wreckage, oil slick, or body was ever found. It was as if the planes had been swallowed by the ocean itself. The Navy's official investigation initially blamed pilot error, suggesting that Lieutenant Taylor became disoriented and led his men to their doom. But after pressure from Taylor's family, the report was changed to cause unknown, and that remains the official explanation to this very day. Over the years, countless theories have emerged to explain the disappearance of Flight 19. Let's explore the most famous ones. 1. Human error. The simplest explanation is that Taylor, confused by faulty compasses, mistook the Bahamas for the Florida Keys. Believing he was over the Gulf of Mexico, the planes farther out into the Atlantic until they ran out of fuel. 2. Weather and natural forces. The Bermuda Triangle is infamous for sudden storms, rough seas, and unpredictable winds. A violent storm could have struck, causing the planes to crash and sink quickly beneath the waves. 3. Equipment failure. During World War II, navigation instruments were not always reliable. Compass errors and faulty equipment may have left the pilots helpless in the vast Atlantic. 4. Methane gas eruptions. Some scientists propose that methane gas eruptions from the ocean floor could reduce water density, making ships sink suddenly. For aircraft, methane might cause engines to stall and fail mid-flight. 5. Magnetic anomalies. Another theory suggests that the Bermuda Triangle has unusual magnetic fields that interfere with navigation. Compasses may have been thrown off, leading the squadron hopelessly astray. 6. Paranormal and alien explanations. Some believe Flight 19 was pulled into another dimension, swallowed by a time portal, or even captured by extraterrestrials. While these ideas sound like science fiction, the complete lack of evidence continues to fuel speculation. Each theory has supporters and critics. Some are grounded in science, others in rumor and imagination. After decades of investigation, no single explanation has been proven beyond doubt. To this day, treasure hunters, divers, and researchers still search the waters of the Bermuda Triangle for clues. But after almost 80 years, no conclusive evidence has ever been found. For the families of the lost men, the mystery remains deeply painful. Their loved ones didn't just perish, they vanished. The disappearance of Flight 19 is more than just a tragic event. It has become a cultural phenomenon. It inspired books, documentaries, and even Hollywood movies. The 1977 film Close Encounters of the Third Kind famously portrayed the lost pilots being abducted by aliens. To this day, treasure hunters, divers, and researchers still search the waters of the Bermuda Triangle for clues. But after almost 80 years, no conclusive evidence has ever been found. For the families of the lost men, the mystery remains deeply painful. The disappearance of Flight 19 is one of the greatest mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. Was it human error, bad weather, or something far beyond our imagination? The truth may lie hidden beneath the waves, waiting to be discovered. But one thing is certain, the disappearance of 27 men in a single day will forever haunt history. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more unsolved mysteries from around the world, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you'll be notified the moment we release our next episode. And let us know in the comments, do you think Flight 19 was a tragic accident or a supernatural event? Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.